This is round 2 at recording a video showing this off, because the first time I did it, I realized, the text is kind of small and you can't read it at all. So, round 2, showing off my cool program that auto-generates quizzes that are interactive from your notes that you take. So, here's an example of the notes that I take for university. This is my German class. It's got a pretty, I do all my classes in the same structure. I've got a section for scratch work, which is where all the unfinished stuff goes. There's a little bit there. But aside from that, you got things like a list of assignments or the proper notes, which are the bits that have been like sorted and filed properly. So I have a section for grammar, and under there I have some conjugations of a verb for the future tense, or sorry, for the passive tense. And then under vocabulary, you've got a couple different sections. So you got, say, nouns. And then under there, you have another section for nouns that are specifically related to food, or then adjectives or things like that. So those notes are pretty easy to take. I've got a thing where you just click a whack, and then you have another thing, and you can type in a definition, and then type in a term and a definition, just like that. So pretty easy. So how do we actually turn those into quizzes? That's where the magic of the program comes in. So here's the file that we are loading, which is this bit with notes here. And then there's a second file that you give it, which is like a recipe. So it basically tells the program, and you can rewrite them. So if you take your notes in a different format from me, which you probably do, you can just write a different config file there, and the same program will work. So it's really flexible, and you don't have to change any code or anything to make it work with other people's notes. So I can go ahead and hit enter to open that up. And you see, hey, that looks kind of familiar. That's our same organization as before. So we can take a look. You can see assignments. There's the same list of assignments or whatever. But the part that's important and interesting for us is to go into the grammar section. We'll hop into passive and all the way in here. So you can see as we're moving around, I'll actually head back. As I'm moving up and down here, it shows the number of children, which are like the subsections, and then the number of questions that are in each section. So here the passive one has 2 children and a question in it. So if you go into it, here are the two children, each one of them with 6, because there's 6 different pronouns to conjugate the verb for. So then I can click enter to start the actual quiz. So then you can see learn 0 out of 6, because we just started. And then it'll give you, hey, here's the pronoun, conjugate it for one of those. So you can go through, conjugate it. When you get it correct, it'll say well done. You can just use space to continue. You just press the little number keys at the top of the keyboard. And you can see now we have a score that's popped up, 100%, because I haven't missed anything yet. But if we do miss something, so this one's number 3, but if I mess it up and say number 2, then it'll say, oh no, sorry, the answer is, tell you the correct answer, and then you can do space to continue. So now that I've done that, you can see that my score here has dropped down to 50% instead of 100. But say I want to do this one is number 4, but if I, say, mistype accidentally and hit 3, but I really meant 4, I can say manually override, so I can click that and it'll say, oh, well, guess you were right after all. And then you can see the score actually goes up because you've gotten it correct, so it's as if you never missed it at all. So we can do the rest of these. Oh, and the one that we missed, which was our second one, so first, I think, will be now the last question in the quiz. So whenever you miss one, it pushes it to the end, so you get a chance to review it a second time. So you can see even though we've answered 3 questions, we've only learned 2 of them. That's because we missed one of them, obviously. So I can go through and do the rest of these, and then once I get through, I didn't mean to miss that one. So you can see, okay, so actually that's a good thing that I've demonstrated. So here's the first one that we missed. That one comes up first, do first. We can do that one, and then here's the one that I accidentally missed, and that's now our last one to finish us off. So you click on that, and it finishes. So that's most of what there is to that. So under longer sections, like say scratch work, oops, that's not what I meant to do at all. You can always quit with Q. But under these larger sections, you can scroll, which is really nice. So it scrolls and it all scales very cleanly. You can see under vocabulary, nouns. So you can see here that there's 10 children, or sorry, 10 questions and 1 child, and that refers to these 10 questions and then this 1 child. So if you go in, you can actually see, hey, there's the food one, and then you can, go ahead and do your quiz on cakes and chocolate cakes and plates and things. Yeah, so that is that. Lots still to do with it, but It's coming along decently. I'm planning on adding some features for dealing with things that aren't just like flashcards, because like this is basically a fancy automatic Quizlet. Very nice, but Quizlet does exist. So I'm looking to improve upon it. Got a bunch of ideas for that. But if you have any ideas, please do let me know. I'm very actively developing it at the moment. Now that it's summer, I'll have plenty of time to work on it. So we're making good progress, and I'm ready to do some more. So hope you enjoyed. Cheers.